And now it's time to give you an exclusive briefing on what's next for one of PC gaming's titans of modding, simulation, and scale, Arma 4. Last month, developer Bohemia Interactive kicked things off by releasing Arma Reforger on Steam in early access. This playable prototype will be a foundation for Arma 4. And with it playable on Steam now, we have a ton of questions about the future of Arma. I mean, after all, this is the series that helped birth the survival genre through DayZ. Oh, and also this other little niche genre you may have heard of called Battle Royale. To help us peer into the future for this project, we've got none other than Bohemia Interactive. Thank you so much for joining us. So as of right now, Arma Reforger has been out for about a month. What is it that you've been learning or seeing from players?
At first, we've learned that players like Reforger a lot and they appreciate the work we've put into it. We also realized they like modding a lot and they really view this as a key quality of our games. And we were very pleased by the reactions of both our community and the new players who immediately started flooding the internet with videos, playthroughs and praise of our new technology. So we are very glad that the reception was so good.
So there's no doubt players who have been longtime fans of the franchise stepping into Arma Reforger, and I'm curious, what were some of the big challenges of rebuilding that specific Arma feel from the ground up in this brand new engine?
Well, it's a very tricky subject because even internally it's an ongoing kind of fight. So I'm myself very much on the very purist side of things, so no HUD, no save games, no superficial helpers, and this fight can get very intense even in-house. So I'm the real Arma purist and I'm on this for 25 years now, so I will keep fighting, but obviously this is part of the fun. So there's always never-ending battle. I think 2 years ago we really struggled to keep it Arma and even internally preserve our own standards, so do it our own way rather than replicating what's maybe normal in other games, because our goal is not to make the same game as all other games. So our goal is to remain unique.
I'm curious if you can speak to what the main goals of Reforger is, because it's a little unusual compared to other releases. I mean, for instance, how much content should a player expect if, say, they've been playing Arma 3 for years?
Our goals were, of course, to restart the series from a technological standpoint, really make room for some new achievements, utilize the technology which is state-of-the-art, both in terms of how it looks like, how it's controlled, how it can be modded.
It's important to understand it may look as a kind of normal game on the surface, but there is a big system behind it. So just the tool suite is a massive tool suite, never tested by a large public. So it's a premiere of a tool suite, and these tools are being built for nearly 5 years now. So we really need users to start using them to keep improving and continue building it.
Sorry to interrupt, but we have one quick question from the Arma fans. Has Russia's invasion of Ukraine impacted your approach to Arma 4 and Arma Reforger, a game that depicts the Cold War?
Well, yes, because it's extremely close to us. We even live in a way very nearby, so definitely. On the other hand, we started work on this many years ago, so the direction was set before. But we always approach conflicts and armed conflicts with a great level of respect. We're still at the beginning, but we definitely would like to continue in our exploring this serious theme.
Arma, as I see it, has always been a bit more of a anti-war game. It's an entertainment product. That's fair thing to admit. On the other hand, given the topic, given our, let's say, maturity and long time we've spent on it, and our ambition to portray it as a whole very complex and gritty thing, I would like us to contribute by not just entertaining people, but also educating them on the subject. This was the whole point of starting the cooperation with the International Committee of the Red Cross, and I believe we have great potential, big responsibility in this era, and a very important chance to contribute at least a little bit to the good side of things.
This would not be an interview about Arma unless we were asking about modding. I mean, so many amazing games and genres came from Arma mods, so I gotta know what's possible in Reforger that wasn't possible in the past.
Now with this technology, it's possible to create entirely different things, like entirely different games. it has so many variables, but the beauty now is that much more of it is user accessible, unlike the previous games. So people can easily digest how this is constructed in our Workbench tools. So unlike previously where it was more hard-coded in the C++ engine, so now they can check the data of every single element of the game and go much, much deeper than in previous games. So this will be super exciting.
Now, I wanted to ask a little bit about performance, because anyone who's played Arma knows that it can get really challenging to get a good frame rate in those massive multiplayer matches. So I'm curious, what expectations should players have about performance leading into Arma 4?
Arma 3 was built on foundations laid down in times of single core and no GPUs basically, so this time much more computations and intensive rendering things can be done directly on GPU, but it required completely a new approach.
Again, we are in the beginning and we know that there are problems, there are difficulties, but we are solving them one by one. We are really gathering community feedback and even our own definitely feedback, so we are moving things forward. And yeah, it's about optimization. It's not that much about FPS, but also for like network traffic, for instance. When you have this massive multiplayer game, it's a huge challenge. Server performance, of course, and all the technical things. So we are moving forward.
Thank you so much again, Bohemia Interactive, for giving us the inside scoop on both Arma Reforger and Arma 4.